From the floor of the CME Group, this is Danny Riley with today's mid-morning update. The name of this video is going to be the S&P and the Monday Blues. The high of the day in the S&P came in at 1967.70 early in the day. The low came in at 1959.30 recently. And last, we're 1961 even. We're down 10.5 handles. Total volume, we've got decent volume, guys. We've had about 230,000 traded in Globex, and we have a total of 800,000 traded in the day session. That's the minis. And the big S&P, we have a total of 800 traded. Now look, the big thing here is Mutual Fund Monday, which has been up 12 of the last 14, but down 2 out of the last 4. So what happens after you get this kind of big up day, you get this kind of down day, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Now, there's something in the news just recently about China backing Russia, saying that the U.S. should not jump to conclusions on the downing of this Malaysian jet. I mean, come on. I mean, what are people thinking? Are the Chinese just going to sit there and back this kind of stuff? It's almost crazy. You know, they're the country that's always concerned about their territorial rights, but they've not said anything about any of this kind of stuff. Now, the other part about this is what I was talking about last week. Literally, since July 14th, last Monday, the S&P has been up a day, down a day, up a day, down a day, up a day. Now, if that continues like that, today should be a down day, and that's kind of what we're looking at. Now, the other part of this is it seems like people are looking for any reason that they can find to sell the S&P. On Friday's video, I said I think we could expect some weakness into Monday, and that later in the week we'd start to firm up. But to tell you the truth, I think the lows of the day, I think these 59 even, 59.30 lows versus the big and versus the mini are probably your lows, early lows of the day. And I kind of think they could be the low of the day period. But that said, we've got turnaround Tuesday tomorrow. And then I think what really has got to happen here is we've got to see a little back and filling. You know, these big sharp moves down, then big sharp moves back up. It doesn't create a lot of support or resistance. It's just thrashing, you know, thrashing back and forth. There's not a lot of mindset to this. Now this morning there was the S&P open lower, rallied a little bit, and then sold off, and they could barely get the premiums for any buy programs. And then as the S&P started to sell off, the S&P immediately slipped into sell program level. And then after we made those lows, the S&P is finally starting to short cover a little bit, and the premiums are starting to react a little bit more favorably. That said, it's a flip of a coin here, guys. You know, not everybody's trading. The volumes are good, but we need a couple days of back and filling. And that's why I said I think we're down Monday, maybe down tomorrow, and then we start firming up Wednesday and Thursday. I'll be back on the cash close.